Okay, good evening. I'd like to call the North Aurora Village Board meeting for Monday, February 21st, 2022 to order. Please join me in a silent prayer and meditation. All right, thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, roll call, please.
Mayor Gaffino.
Here.
Trustee Curtis. Trustee Gately.
Here.
Trustee Lowry.
Here.
Trustee Nedved.
Here.
And Trustee Salazar. Here.
All right, thank you. I have a proclamation to read for the Anderson Humane 5-year anniversary. Whereas Anderson Humane first opened their doors to the public in North Aurora 5 years ago on February 13, 2017. And whereas since then, Anderson Humane has found a forever home for 4,200 puppies, kittens, dogs, cats from their adoption center in North Aurora. And whereas Anderson Humane is located in Pets Place Plus store located at 180 North Randall Road, which provides a space rent-free to Anderson Humane, and without their financial support, the adoption center would not be what it is today. And whereas in addition to being an adoption center, Anderson Humane provides families with animal behavior and training and works with many veterans, organizations, senior living centers to provide enrichment opportunities for people to experience a human-animal connection. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Mark Gaffino, village president, and the Board of Trustees of North Aurora do hereby proclaim recognition of Anderson's Humane 5-year anniversary and the positive difference they made in the North Aurora community. Dated this day, February 21, 2022. It's well done. All right. Now we have open a public hearing for the NPDES water system.
Thank you, Mayor.
Anybody here to speak on that?
Yeah, I'm going to give a brief introduction. I'm going to ask Patrick to speak to us. This public hearing serves two purposes. Basically, to allow public.
I don't know what to do.
Might just echo like a reverb. I mean, it would be best if we could maybe turn down the treble or get it to, because it was hard to understand what you were saying. Sorry to bother you, Jen. Yeah, there you go.
We won't record them.
If you can stand up.
Oh, okay. Hang on. We'll get it right.
You come out in the center and stand up.
Let's try it now.
Is this any better?
Yes.
Still there.
Well, testing. Turn down the reverb.
Test. Check.
Yes. I think we're good.
Okay.
We're good. Did you give it a shot?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks again, Mayor. This public hearing is for, it serves two purposes. Basically, it gives the public an opportunity to comment on our stormwater plan and our permitting process annual report. And it also gives staff a chance to kind of explain what we do from a stormwater aspect to maintain good water quality throughout the village. So part of this permit is what it does is the IEPA requires us to develop a plan, and that plan is a 5-year plan known as a notice of intent. Every year we work towards those goals that we have in that plan, and then we prepare a report at the end of each year and say where we've met the goals or where we need to improve, or just kind of explain, you know, the status of where the village is to the IEPA. So those reports are up on our website and they're able to be viewed by the public. But some of the things that are included in our long-term plan include, we'll vacuum out storm sewers. So we'll take the sediment out of the storm sewers to make sure that that sediment isn't getting into the river and the receiving waters. Some of the other things we'll do as part of the activities of the plan is to repair any sinkholes we might find in the street. So if there's some sediment that's getting into our catch basins, we'll patch the catch basins and then make sure that that sediment is getting in the Fox River. Another component of the plan is just plan review, really. And so when a new development comes into town, part of the responsibilities of the design engineer and the village is to review those plans and make sure that the stormwater facilities that they're putting in, like the detention basins, are initially protected from having that dirt runoff into the streets, into the catch basins, or into the waters, causing contamination in the Fox River. So I've invited Patrick McPartland here today. He's a resource conservationist with the Kane-DuPage Soil Water Conservation District. And what Patrick does is he will also review plans and perform inspections on developments that are greater than 2 acres within the village per our intergovernmental agreement with them. So at this time, I just invite Patrick to come forward and introduce himself and explain a little bit about his organization and how they partner with the village.
Sure. Thank you, John. Hopefully no echo. As John said, my name is Patrick McPartland. I'm with the Kane-DuPage Soil Water Conservation District. We are a local unit of government under the Illinois Department of Agriculture. And since we're and there's soil water conservation districts throughout the state. And since we're in a primarily urban area, we've had to take on permitting related to the Water Quality Act. So we do inspections on behalf of the Army Corps of Engineers and the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency to make sure that the plans and the actual results on the job sites meet the expectations of their permits. So with that, we've also gotten in agreements with certain villages and municipalities to be the third party in their review process and also during their inspection process. So that includes our agreement that we've had since the early 2000s before I've been here. And we're notified when a new development is going to take place, as long as it meets the criteria of over 2 acres. And then we review the engineering plans to make sure that they meet technical reference standards to the Illinois Urban Manual. And then we are contacted throughout the development process. We make sure to be there for the pre-construction meetings, go over the expectations, and we conduct inspections throughout the job site, and then we report to John and Brandon as well. And we stay with the site until it's reached a stable point again, where it's no longer going to have potential to impact the surrounding water quality. And then we work with the Village of North Aurora to submit a notice of termination with the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, assuring that the piece of land is now stable and ready to get its stormwater permit lifted. So with that, any questions?
No.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else, John?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to close the public hearing. Moving on to audience comments. Anybody here to speak?
I'm signed up.
Sure, just state
It was
your,
at the end or the beginning. I'm Terry Olam with Seaburn Landscaping. We
can you give your address?
30 West 741 Butterfield Road, Naperville. We've been the landscape services provider for the city in the previous round, and I think we're up for vote today. I just wanted to take a few moments to thank Public Works Department, Brian Richter, John Laskowski, for working with us. It's been a crazy year. It's kind of a whole crazy setup with manpower and equipment. I have trucks that have been on order for 6 months. We were supposed to get them this year. We're getting them in 2023. So everything has been delayed and slowed down and all that. But thank you for working with us in that process. We make mistakes. The guys make mistakes. We miss areas. We always try to do the right thing, fix it as soon as possible and all that. And then Mother Nature always throws in a curveball here and there. So I just wanted to take the time to thank the board and enter into the record that we appreciate working with the village and with the Public Works Department. And if you have any questions, call me or ask me now.
I don't have any questions.
Okay, thank you. All right. Consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
Clerk call the roll, please.
Trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved,
Yes.
trustee Salazar. Yes. Trustee Curtis.
All right, thank you. Under new business, item 1, John.
Thank you, Mayor. This item is the approval to reject a low bid and award the 4-year contract for lawn mowing and landscape maintenance to Siebert Landscaping in the amount of $217,312. This process, we started the process for the bidding on January 10th. 26 days later, we opened the bids on February 15th, and we received 3 bids for the project. We initially tallied about 19 companies that were interested, and we were hoping for a few more bids, but we did get 3 qualified bidders, or 3 bidders. And the results of those bids were such that Vega Building Maintenance was the low bidder. We checked all 7 of their references, or we contacted all 7 of their references. We talked with 5 of the people there. Of those 5, 3 of them were municipalities, Elmhurst, Lockport, and Glenbard wastewater plant, I think. So it was 3 different entities. And when we were checking the references of Vega Building Maintenance, it turned out that the municipalities gave them good references, but they didn't give them good references. They didn't give them a reference on landscaping because they were actually performing cleaning services for the company. So they didn't really have a reference that we could check with respect to their performance on landscaping, lawn maintenance and landscaping. When we talked further with the wastewater company in Glenbard, they explained that they had also won the low bid last year for their project, but when they were checking references, they didn't think that Vega had the capacity to actually manage a program that big. So ours would, I asked them how big their program was, and it was roughly about $30,000 or so. Ours is probably about 40% bigger than that. So there was some concern among staff that they wouldn't have the ability to perform the services for the Village of North Aurora in the way that we would hope they would be done either. The other 2 references that came back, one of them was a plant or a private manufacturer, and that individual said that they were performing lawn maintenance there, and it was probably about a 10 to 15 acre site, but it was one of those things where it was only in one location. I think the challenge for our project with landscape services is just we have 36 different locations, and you have to be very organized, and you have to have the equipment and manpower to get from those locations on a regular basis. So when we looked at it, after Brian, the street superintendent, and I were checking the references and talking it over, we felt that we weren't convinced that Vega was going to be able to perform the landscape services for the village the way we would expect them to the quality standard that we were looking for. For that reason, it's the staff recommendation to go with Siebert for the next 4-year contract in the amount of $217,312.
Motion approved.
Second.
Discussion? The roll, please.
Trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved,
Yes.
trustee Salazar. Yes. Trustee Curtis.
All right, thank you. Item 2, Steve.
Thank you. Item number 2 is a special event request for Rustic Fox. They are looking to do a farmer's market 7 times during the year from April to October, about once a month. The only reason they need a special event permit is they're looking to have food trucks, and we don't allow food trucks for more than 2 hours at one private business without a special event permit. So because they're having food trucks longer than 2 hours for each of these events, they need a request to the village board for a special event permit.
Second.
Discussion? Roll, please.
Trustee Curtis. Trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved,
Yes.
trustee Salazar. Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 3, Steve.
Hi, item number 3 is our electric bids, going out to electric bids as our contract for our water treatment plants and our wells are currently expiring in May. As we've talked about at the committee of the whole meeting in the past couple weeks, we work with NIMEC, which is a group, conglomeration of like, they do brokerage for about 140 different municipalities. They'll go out and try to get us competitive pricing. The board reviewed this at the last meeting and said that you would like to see us purchase green energy. So as of right now, there's a resolution attached that allows us to go out and buy electricity. We can tell NIMEC to do green energy. And then there's the option for a 1, 2, or 3 year contract. It gives me the authorization to sign whichever contract is in the best interest of the village. At the last meeting, there was some discussion about rates changing and the market being all over the place. So we actually had them pull a recent bid just to give you an idea of what 1, 2, and 3 year pricing is looking like with green energy right now. So I'm going to start by giving you a quick perspective of what we do now. So our current bid rate is about 4.5 cents, 4.47 cents to be exact. The most recent numbers they gave us from a couple weeks ago, a 1 year contract goes with green goes to 6.37 cents. A 2 year goes to 5.98, so 6, and a 3 year goes to 5.8. So obviously there's the numbers go down as the longer the contract you lock in. So it is going to go a longer contract at a higher rate than we pay now, but the longer you lock in, the longer you get a better deal. So I'm not asking necessarily for a specific number. I'm just telling you that that's what they'll do is they'll get 3 year pricing for us. And then the resolution would let me pick which one makes the sense in the long run.
Motion approved.
Second.
Discussion?
I said one question. So when you say the 3 year contract is at 5.8%, that's for all 3 years if you lock in at the
Yeah,
3
it's a
year.
fixed price for all 3 years.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
No.
Roll, please.
Trustee Gately,
Yes.
trustee Lowry,
Yes.
trustee Nedved,
Yes.
trustee Salazar,
Yes.
trustee Curtis.
All right, thank you. Village President report, I have an appointment to the Citizens Council Core Member Group. You can see, I'll read off the appointments. Trustee Mark Gailey would be the council chair. Chief Fisher would be council vice chair. Deputy Chief Scott Wozecki would be our CERT coordinator. And we have 4 citizens, Doug Bakken, Jeff Wong, Jimmy Antopoulos, and Mike Clemensick. Good with that?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Trustee comments.
Yes, I'd just like to pass along compliments that I get, which aren't fair, but I get on our public works crew, John, obviously with the storms. I know we've mentioned this many times before, but the compliments that I hear now from people is nothing to be surprised about. But I just want to pass along to you guys, you and your crew, the wonderful job you guys do. Thank you.
Anybody else? Minister's report.
The only thing I wanted to point out tonight was that occasionally in the last couple of meetings, we've had a flicker of light every now and then. So we did actually have an electrician come out here and they basically were going to replace all the bulbs because they're all starting to go. They're at that age. But we're actually looking to replace them with LEDs. And we think that's actually the inexpensive way to go. So hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll start changing them out.
All right, thank you.
The old change the bulb routine.
Who would
Village
have thought?
Department reports. Any reports, department? All right, thank you. Motion adjourned.
Can I just say one thing?
Sure.
Mayor, the appointments are subject to the advice and consent of the board, and obviously nobody had any issues with the appointment. So I would just suggest that there's a note in the minutes indicating that the board was in consent with the appointment. Just a technical thing.
All right, motion adjourned.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. We'll be meeting shortly for the committee of the whole.